What's up, y'all? It's your girl Cornelia back for another episode of Black News, a podcast where we break down current events, hot topics, and local stories involving Black people. Now let's get into it. Let me start by saying, whenever I hope for a slow news week, it end up not being a slow news week. It's the power of the tongue. Every time I be at home thinking, man, it's kind of slow. That's a good thing. Then bam, something slap you in the face. And by something, I mean this Jonathan Majors story. Ooh, y'all, It's so much to unpack. And let me start by saying, I am just talking this whole scenario through. The day that I'm recording this podcast, stuff's still up in the air. There is no end result. There have been conflicting posts and messages and things on social media, assumptions, fact. I don't know what's what. I do not know what's what. So all of this is allegedly. All of this is based on information just flying around and me trying to piece it together and come here and discuss it on the podcast. Also throwing in the allegedly, because you saw what happened to Tasha K. Okay, like it's allegedly. I ain't about to be out here saying stuff is fact and fiction. No, you ain't getting that from me. This is all just what I've been reading, researching, and seeing. And it might be a little jumbled because it's coming in and out in like pieces. So to start, I was doing my grocery shopping, living my life on the weekend. Okay, I'm running errands. I'm old lady run errands on the weekend. I don't be having no activities, no hot dates, ain't none of that. I be at the grocery store. I periodically am checking social media, my phone, just to see what's going on. Just to see what's going on in the streets. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I see something that says Jonathan Majors has been arrested for assaulting a woman in a cab. That's the first thing that I saw. Immediately, people making assumptions. And now what I've realized too, and this is, I think I mentioned this a few weeks ago. It feels like social media is just getting worse. Meaning people have the access and the ability to just talk. Whether stuff is fact or fiction, they know the truth, research, it don't matter. People just talk. And because they have a lot of eyes on them, other people take that information as true without doing their actual research. To them, research means I saw it on social media. That is now becoming what I've done my research means, which is awful. But so many things have been going on. So this is what I gather so far. Jonathan Majors was in a cab in New York City with a woman. Something happened. A fight broke out, a tussle. One side says that she saw his phone and he was texting other women. She got mad because she thought he was cheating and she went off on him and started hitting him. He then choked her and hit her and the assault ensued. The other side said that is not what happened. She was going through a mental breakdown. She started, getting out of control. Jonathan Majors called the police. The police came and the intent was for them to de-escalate the situation. Then he was taken to the police station. He was booked in there and charged. Now, what he was charged with eventually, several counts of assault in the 3rd degree, a single count of aggravated harassment in the 2nd degree, 3 counts of attempted assault in the 3rd degree, and 1 count harassment in the 2nd degree. That's a lot of degrees. Okay. That's juvenile 400. That's a lot of degrees. Okay. So I'm going to start reading some of the statements from Jonathan Majors' team, because immediately they came out and said, this is not true. We're going to prove it. We have witnesses and footage and all of this stuff. Then that was later followed by reports, and I don't know how true or not they were, of saying that the victim recanted her statement, is not pressing charges, and said something to the effect of, I'm going to stay out of it. I'm not going to pursue it anymore, which could mean many different things. That could mean that the state or the city gonna still pursue it. The prosecutor, like other people can still pursue it, even if you say you ain't gonna do nothing about it. So whether or not she in or out, or if it happened or if it didn't happen, she lied, told the truth, that brother probably they coming after him. I'm going to assume. Now, his team came out, his lawyer, and said, and I quote, Jonathan Majors is completely innocent and is probably the victim of an altercation with a woman he knows. We're quickly gathering and presenting evidence to the district attorney, with the expectation that all charges will be dropped immediately. This woman said that the evidence includes video footage from the vehicle where this episode took place, witness testimony from the driver and others who saw and heard the episode, and most importantly, 2 written statements from the woman recanting these allegations. All the evidence proves that Mr. Majors is entirely innocent and did not assault her whatsoever. Unfortunately, this incident came about because this woman was having an emotional crisis for which she was taken to the hospital yesterday. The NYPD is required to make an arrest in these situations, and this is the only reason Mr. Majors was arrested. We expect these charges to be dropped soon. There's so much in this. One, once this dropped, people were on social media who I'm assuming are in the business or adjacent to the entertainment industry that have started popping out the woodwork saying that allegedly this has been his pattern of behavior, abuse, that he's been fooling people he's been this heartthrob, which is not who he really is, and that he is this bad guy. Okay, and I'm saying allegedly. Then other people were on social media saying, well, if y'all knew this entire time and everybody was just sitting on this, ex-classmates, people on set, all of these things, why didn't anybody wait to say anything right now? It's giving like, wait till something happened and we pop out the woodwork. There could be 2 reasons for that. And again, I'm not either. I'm just reading this, y'all, because keep me out of it. But there can be 2 reasons for people withholding information. One, we know in the entertainment industry is very small. Everybody know everybody. So coming out and being that person to be like, oh, this person did X, Y, and Z, it could risk you getting some type of backlash, especially if you are a woman saying that, because don't get it twisted. The Me Too movement may have been loud, but women still getting retaliated against and not believed, i.e. Meg Thee Stallion. On the other thing is, flip side is, sometimes people do be waiting in the wings and people do be lying. People be lying. So we literally, I feel like as people, we just got to wait till everything play out, right? We can jump on either side, but I really think this going to be a situation where what happens, and we going to be observing all of it. In regards to recanting, a lot of times women are put in situations where if they make a statement, they feel like they have to recant because of all of the backlash that's going to come down on them. Jonathan Majors is one of the most popular men in Hollywood right now, black or white. And anybody connected with, and I'm doing air quotes, a takedown, that person is going to get took down too. Because again, we not in a place where women are believed, or even if he did this, that they go side with her. We not. So a lot of women in the industry and even in their personal lives take back the statement because they don't want to deal with the backlash or have anything happen to them. So recanting doesn't necessarily mean something didn't happen. In regards to the evidence, low key, I'm honestly surprised that TMZ ain't got no footage. If they got footage out here like they say, this is the same TMZ that found the elevator footage of Solange whooping on Jay-Z. They found it and dropped it. This is the same TMZ that every time something going on, they was the first to report Michael Jackson was dead. So if there's really taxi cab footage and witnesses, I am shocked that TMZ has not released any of this footage or gotten a hold of it. I'm flabbergasted. I was checking social media all weekend waiting for the tape to drop, and it ain't dropped. So I don't know. In regards to the actual accusation, let me say this. And I say this again. I don't know what happened. I am just reading off articles and posts and things that I've been seeing. But if men are out here hitting on women, you gotta go. If choking is a different level of abuse and assault, because you literally are watching somebody's life slip away from their body. If anybody is out here abusing women, you got to get up out of here. Now, if you are a woman and you are not telling the truth or lying about being abused, you got to go too. You got to get up out of here. So with those stakes being so high, I personally do not feel comfortable jumping out there and being on either side. I just don't feel comfortable putting that stake in the ground. I don't know what happened, and it's creepy to me that people who also don't know what happened are jumping off the deep end into a different side or to an outcome or an assumption that they do not know for sure. I just don't understand that. And on the other side, I also don't understand when people get so out of control that they cannot stay within reality. Meaning, I mentioned how this man is one of the most sought out and most popular stars in Hollywood right now. There are movies on the docket that he literally has to top line. He is number one on the call sheet for, and most notably, there's a whole movie and a whole story arc in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that spans multiple different phases, written and situated around his character. That is 10 years worth of work. 10. He was just in Quantumania. He was also in Loki. He's going to be in this next season of Loki. He's probably going to be in a few other spinoffs. And then there is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, an entire movie about Kang the Conqueror. Him. He's supposedly stronger and more powerful than Thanos. It took 3 phases in 10 years for the Avengers to all link up and fight and defeat Thanos. It's probably supposed to take the same amount of time to beat Kang. So knowing you have all of these projects and all of this responsibility and all of these people depending on you and all of these family and friends who sacrifice all this stuff. And this boy brother was talking about he was homeless at one point, sleeping in a car in motels. To know all of that, and if he did lose control to the point where he was hitting women, I do not understand getting that out of control to the point where you just lose it and disregard all of that. That's one thing about abuse that I just don't get. I do not get that, where you get that out of control where you say, fuck everything, I'm about to ruin my whole life. I just don't understand. Now, if somebody please explain it to me, because I don't think I ever will understand it. But again, I'm trying to process, and I'm saying that to say, I'm hoping that he would not have allowed himself to get that out of control and that all of this is just rumors or being blown out of proportion. But if it ain't, it ain't. People were on social media comparing this situation to Dana White. Dana White is the president of UFC. He was recently caught on camera a few months ago slapping on his wife. Nobody was really talking about it. He didn't get in trouble. Nothing happened. People was just like, oh, it's crazy. I mean, it is UFC. They be fighting. And then we just skirted on past it. So that was another discussion with just random people to say it's very coincidental that we saw Dana White slapping his wife and nothing happened to him. But we don't know for sure if Jonathan Majors got into this situation and he already being punished and things are happening to him, which could, that is a great comparison. But then it also begs the comparison to say, just because that white man gets to do something doesn't mean that you should get to do the same thing. It's kind of like, and I'm not comparing this situation to this, but I'm giving the example with Harvey Weinstein versus R. Kelly, Jeffrey Epstein versus R. Kelly. People kept saying, well, they didn't get punished, so why R. Kelly got to go to jail? So are you arguing that R. Kelly should have got to rape because Harvey Weinstein and them was getting to rape? Like, you just want to be able to rape? There's different sides to this. So the discussion about the Dana White comparison, that's going to be one that we're going to keep seeing. I'm not on either side of this because I don't know what happened. Okay. Now, in regards to from a business perspective, everybody associated with him is going to take a hit. Any movies that slated to come out or that already came out, i.e. Creed 3, this going to take a hit because the people immediately react. We immediately jump out there with our first reaction as far as supporting somebody. And listen, I don't know that man and I don't know their relationship, but I'm going to assume that Michael B. Jordan might be a little pissed at this situation. One, people going around talking about how Jonathan Majors was apparently acting on different sets. Now people probably looking at him like, dang, he was acting crazy on your set. You ain't say nothing, whether he was or not. Maybe he wasn't. But people now like, what's going down over there? And are you protecting him? Maybe he was not. Maybe he was. We won't never know. Then Creed 3 still at the movies. Box office numbers ain't just for the first week. It ain't just that opening weekend. The tally continues on till that gets out of theaters. Then there's also, you still got to sell it. And you still got to have it available for purchase on Blu-ray and probably Amazon Prime. Because I was going to buy it. I'm still going to buy that thing on Amazon Prime. Okay? But now this could affect all of those overall numbers. People could probably stop going to see this movie because it's, like I said, it's still in theaters. When it come out on streaming, people probably won't want to watch it. People won't buy that thing on Amazon Prime or Blu-ray. So overall, that's going to take a hit. Devotion going to take a hit. All of Marvel going to take a hit. The Last Black Man in San Francisco going to take a hit. People ain't going to go back and watch them old Lovecraft countries and take a hit. It's going to take a hit. So the business of this is just a hot ass mess. And I hate that it had to be them, the people who are associated with this, which goes back to, again, I just don't understand how people just get so out of control where it affects their business because it ain't just about you. I just don't understand. Now, what's going to happen next? Child, I do not know. We just have to wait. We don't know if the city or the county or however New York prosecutes cases, if that's going to go through court. There was a temporary restraining order granted in favor of the victim. So we don't know how that's going to play out. We don't even know if the girl was his girlfriend. People were immediately like, that was his girlfriend. You know, they white women. And let me address that real quick too. This is also what makes things so difficult for Black people in this world, in particular in America. Black people have a very tumultuous relationship with being accused of things by people who are not Black. Emmett Till, remember the man who was bird watching in Central Park and the lady lied on him and said that he was trying to assault her? We literally have been traumatized with situations where men and women of color have been falsely accused. So Black people, we immediately do jump on the side of our person because of that tumultuous history. But in turn, what it also does is sometimes it makes us hold on a little too tight for people who actually have done wrong. A lot of cases we be acting real desperate for Black heroes. Like we just let them do something wrong because ain't gonna be nobody else, which that's not okay. So with that, I can immediately think of why people want to see the girlfriend. Because I ain't even gonna lie. The minute I first heard it, I did say, let me see the girlfriend. Because for Black people, that gives us context. Whether the context is right or wrong, that does arm us with a different level of information that we then use to dissect the situation. But if whether you black or white, whatever, if you hitting women, or if you not hitting women, and then this is a situation where somebody was making up some allegations, then whoever lying got to go. Like, you can't be lying on people. You just can't do that. So we'll see how this plays out. This is just, I'm reporting this to y'all. This just like the third day after the fact. We got a long way to go. We don't know if he gonna start getting dropped from movies, if they're gonna take a pause. I honestly don't think they'll drop him from the movie, because you saw what happened to Ezra. What's his name? He's still the Flash. Okay, they still going strong with him. So I really don't think that Marvel is going to pull back with him. I do think it may die down a little bit. And by the time them Kang movies come out, it's gonna be years. Y'all know we got a short attention span. I guarantee y'all next week we gonna be mad at somebody else. So I don't think Disney's gonna pull the plug on him. I will be shocked if they did. But we in a whole new world, so you never know. We'll see. I do hate though that at this very early stage in that man's career that we having this conversation, and whoever between the two of them needs help, I need them to get the help. If he has a violent streak and this is who he is, that brother got to get some help. If she, the woman, the victim, he had an emotional break because of whatever triggered her, girl, leave him. Get your mental health together. We got to get some help. What do y'all think about all of this? I know it's a lot. Hit me up on social media with your thoughts. You can find me at Canelia. So on an adjacent note, Sheryl Lee Ralph, the legendary Sheryl Lee Ralph, okay, the original Dream Girl, who I love and have always loved. I ain't just jump on Sheryl Lee Ralph bandwagon when she got on Abbott Elementary, okay? I've been down, okay? Since day one. Moesha stepmama. You understand? Lauryn Hill mama. Singing does not put food on the table. Singing does not pay the bills. I'm day one. I'm A1 since day one. Anyway, Sheryl Lee Ralph was on Way Up with Angela Yee, Angela Yee's new radio show that comes on after The Breakfast Club. Congrats to her. And they were discussing her story, her history, and the topic of a sexual assault, a situation that she experienced came up. This is what she had to say. And it sounded like I only caught the like a little piece of the clip before she got into the meat of it, but it sounded like she don't really talk about it because, and I'm not shocked why people be acting crazy when women, especially black women, talk about somebody assaulted them. They always try to make it our fault. But anyway, she said, and not always, sometimes women are believed, but most times statistics show you that women are not necessarily believed or nothing happens to the person who did the assaulting. Anywho, Sheryl Lee Ralph says, I'm at a very public place. I was suited. I had my suit on. I was handling my business for the television show I was on at the time. He and I were on the same network. The man walked in, grabbed me by the back of my neck, turned me around, and rammed his nasty ass tongue down my throat, and everybody at the network saw it. She did not say the person's name. And she then also made a point to say, no, it is not Judge Mathis. He is a great man. So it ain't Judge Mathis. She did say it was a TV judge who was on the same network as her at the time. Now, I don't know what show she was on, but it was the same network. We're going to keep that in our back pocket. She also noted that she hopes that this situation isn't going to encourage people to tell the truth. She said, speak up, tell your truth. Do not carry the burden of the pain, especially if you feel like it's something you can't work through. It was some other points within that she highlighted that I want to just quickly read. She said that she called the former New Orleans mayor, Mark Morial, and he immediately came to her defense and said, you want me to call the police or send the police there right now? I'll fix this for you. She said also the people told her at the network to stay silent. Somebody on the network tapped me on the shoulder saying, please don't. They did not want any bad press around their show, and they did not care what had just happened to me. They saw what happened. That's the kind of stuff that happens. That's what makes it hard for women to speak up about these things. She ain't lying. And again, the Me Too movement pretty much said that women have been being assaulted in this industry for years. I'm talking about since the days of studio contracts back in the silent movie days in the 1910s, 20s, 30s. This ain't new. However, I'm happy that Shirley Ralph decided or felt compelled to talk about it. Now, after this, y'all know the internet gone internet. The sleuths took to the streets and tried to figure out who it was that Shirley Ralph was talking about. Because we talking about TV judge at the time, it wasn't but a few. It was Mathis. It was Joe Brown. I think, who was it? Wagner. Like, it wasn't no Judy. It was, we can put Judy in there because she did not say it was a man or a woman. Shirley Ralph did not say anybody's name. She only confirmed that it was not Judge Mathis. And she also, one more time, did not say it was a man or a woman. She may have said he, but she did not say specifically, hey guys, it was a guy. The internet jumped out and was like, yo, it must be Judge Joe Brown. Got to be Joe. He the only one who act like this, blah, blah, blah. They started pulling receipts, talking about his past behaviors and things that he's done. Most likely probably tagging him, because y'all know the internet. People be dumb thugging. They be hiding behind them anime avatars or them bald eagles or them cartoons or pictures of somebody famous that ain't them. And they'll tag people and be talking big shit. So I'm assuming they hit him up and was like, yo, what you do to Shirley Ralph, that's messed up. And I'm going to say again, allegedly. Okay. What did he allegedly to all of this? Judge Joe Brown goes on a tear. He posted on social media. He posted on social media. There are false rumors being spread that I mistreated a certain lady 25 years ago. I categorically deny both the accusations and acquaintance with the lady. Those rumors started with certain identified parties and spread. They ought cease and desist or contemplate a defamation action. He basically said he think he about to sue Shirley Ralph, child. He about to sue her for speaking up about a person that she didn't even name. So what can happen in this situation? I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. And I don't have time to call up one. I can, but my lawyer friend, y'all know Sophia, shout out to Sophia, she's not available. So we gonna wing this. But I don't know if you can sue somebody if you did it. Like, did he do it? Was he the judge? And if you the judge, Joe, and she didn't name you, you jumping out there, the streets said that make you look guilty. The streets was like, yo, she didn't even mention you and you just gonna start barking. Was it you? Shirley Ralph, I'm sure after all of this, she really ain't saying the name. And if she do, her husband is a congressman, I think, they coming with that thunder. Because what you're not about to do in 2023 is still be out here acting like you ain't harassing women, allegedly. Because really, we don't even know if it's Joe. It could have been Judy. It could have been Judith. Anywho, what do y'all think about this? I'm proud of her. It's hard to talk about stuff that has happened to you in work settings because you still got to work there. You still have to work in this industry. Luckily, she is at a place where people know she respected. Y'all know her work. And if it ain't about to be no blackballing because one, who gonna blackball her? Quinta? That ain't happening. That's similar to how with Jesse Williams. Remember when Jesse Williams was out here protesting and he was in Ferguson and he's speaking up for black people and black women and he on the front lines and he advocating, and every time black person was harmed, they would call Jesse Williams and he'd be cussing y'all ass out on CNN and MSNBC in the name of black people. People started coming at Shonda Rhimes like, you should get him off the show. He's racist. He says black people, he hurts my feelings. Whoa. Shonda Rhimes was basically like, I ain't never firing Jesse Williams. So you're going to have to just move on. Stop watching the show. Stop watching Grace. Because Jesse, he going to always have a job if he hanging out with me. That's on period. I assume that's the same thing that Quinta probably saying about Shirley Ralph. Keep talking what you want. She good over here. Okay, she got her in me too. Please, she ain't going nowhere. Which I'm happy about, because we should be able to speak up about the things that happen to us without risking our jobs, our careers, and our livelihood. And that goes for men who have been abused and assaulted in this business or outside of the business as well. People need to keep their hands to themselves. But whatever, I'm fussing now. What do y'all think about this situation? Are you proud as Shirley Ralph as I am? Hit me up on social media with your thoughts. On this week's episode, we discussed Jonathan Majors and the allegations that came out over the weekend in regards to him and an unnamed woman in an event that happened in New York City. We also discussed Shirley Ralph's interview on Way Up with Angela Yee, where she mentioned being assaulted years ago by an unnamed TV judge, and now the backlash that has come from that situation. Hit me up with your thoughts about all topics or none, and I'll check back with you guys next time. That's it for this week's episode of Black News, y'all. Thanks again. Thank you. And thank you again so much for sticking with us, supporting the podcast, liking and subscribing on all apps where podcasts can be heard, rating 5 stars, and leaving a comment. It helps more than you know, so I really, really appreciate it. And keep sharing Black News with all of your friends and family. Be sure to hit me up on social media if you got ideas for topics. Or just hit me up in general to let me know you've been listening. Let me know your thoughts. I'm at Cornelia on all platforms across the board. That's at Cornelia, like Kenny and Ophelia. Also check my website. I got some shows coming up in Los Angeles County. Hopefully get on the road soon. But for now, if you're in the LA area, hit me up. Check Cornelia.com for show dates and details. And as always, thanks again so much, guys. I hope you have a fantastic week. Keep supporting, keep growing, keep building, keep staying safe, and keep staying healthy. As always, again, I'll see you back here next time, same time, same place. Bye.